Good afternoon, class 7, and a warm welcome. So this class, I'm doing it in two parts, two small parts I have divided. One part, I'll tell you a little bit of history, and then I will stop it, and then we will stop the recording, and then we will start on with geography like we do, since this is a proper geography class. But before that, due to the network issues, I couldn't finish the last part of history that I was doing. Okay. In history, I was telling you about Akbar's, administration. So administration was divided into central administration and provincial administration. And I told you, central, it was Akbar main, and then his other important ministers. And in provinces, the provinces were also called subas. So there were the head of the province was subedar. So too much of noise. Province was called the Subedar, and the Subedar used to manage. So one very important thing about Akbar's administration was this: he used to select the people in a very, very proper way. The selection process as to who will be in which post was done in a very important way. And his finance minister, the one who was in charge of his finances, was Raja Todarmal. So this is a very important question which can be asked to you all, that what is Todarmal Bandobast? What do you mean by Todarmal Bandobast? If I ask you this question, please write the revenue system that was designed by Akbar's financial minister was called, Raja Todarmal, was called the Todarmal Bandobast. It was prevalent during Akbar's time. Okay, so what is Todarmal Bandobast? It is the system of collecting revenue collection system that was, it was designed, it was thought of and designed by Raja Todarmal. Hence, it was called the Todarmal Bandobast. Okay, and he was Akbar's finance minister. Very similar to our Sher Shah Suri system, the Todarmal Bandobast was very influenced by him. Hence, just like Sher Shah Suri, the points are that land was assessed. Okay, the quality of land was assessed. And here, the time period is given, the produce, how much crops have been produced in the last 10 years. That was seen. So the produce of 10 years was taken into consideration. The produce of 10 years was seen. Now, if it is seen that the produce is high, that means the land is of good quality. If the produce is medium, that means the land is of okay quality. If the produce is less, that means the land is of poor quality. Accordingly, 1/3 was the revenue. Something it will be easy for you to remember. 1/3 was the revenue. And farmers were given agricultural loans. Farmers were given opportunities to, ask for agricultural loans. They could also, they were given benefits during famines, floods. All these things were there. Okay. So Akbar's revenue system that was designed by Raja Todarmal, it was very well designed, and it was a very good way of the collection of revenue and all. It was done in a very systematic way. Hence, the royal treasury was always flourishing during Akbar's time. There was no dearth of, dearth of finances, and the royal treasury was always in a good condition. And a big credit for it goes to the Raja Todarmal. Okay, and he was one of his Navaratnas because of his excellent intelligence and the way he used to manage the finances. Akbar had considered him one of his gems, one of the gems of Akbar's court. Another way of collecting revenue, another way through which money came was trading. So one thing was, of course, agriculture. The other important source of getting money was through trade. And as I have already mentioned, that by now, due to ports, due to capturing the ports, Akbar started trading overseas. So overseas, trading was done. And during Akbar's reign, when Akbar was ruling in India, During this time, the Europeans had started going on long voyages. They have discovered sea routes, and the sea route to India was also discovered. Okay. And you will see this was during when Akbar was ruling that
by Vasco da Gama.
By Vasco da Gama, the sea route has already been discovered, okay, to India. And you will see during Akbar's reign only in the 1700s, for the first time, the British Queen Elizabeth, had given permission to a group of traders from England to come to India to trade in spices. So
East India Company.
Yes, absolutely. The East India Company.
East India Company was so before also.
So before,
Ma'am.
formed now. Now that India has started trading with Europe, it was now that the East India Company was formed for the first time. For the first time, England.
Ma'am.
This only you will see other European nations coming in, but now England for the first time gets the permission from their Queen Elizabeth, that okay, you can go. Sorry, I'm saying Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, that you can go.
I was thinking that only.
Sorry, not Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria. They got the permission that you can go to India and trade. So the East India Company was formed during this time. Okay, so we will keep.
I was thinking you were telling Queen Elizabeth 1 or 2.
One. It is for the first part that we are talking. Tell.
Ma'am, I want to tell something.
Shubhayan, please tell.
Ma'am, when the port of Bengal was captured, after that few Afghans were still there. A Afghan community had a small army, actually wanted to attack and get the Bengal area. Of course, the Mughals won, but it gave a big destruction to the port. So for few months, the trading of Europe to India was actually stopped for a bit, but then it again went.
Queen Elizabeth, see, for some time you are saying trading was stopped. That is a different thing. See, that internal problems, those internal problems continue. Initially, it was Queen Elizabeth I actually who had given the permission that, that they can come to India and start trading, and hence the East India Company was formed.
Queen Victoria or Queen Elizabeth One.
Now it's two. So Queen Elizabeth I was there, then Victoria was there. Victoria was there when India, India became a colony of the British. Now India was no more. Now that you are seeing during Akbar's reign, India is just a trading partner. Now they are coming to trade to India in spices and silk and a lot of other things. They was Ivory was a very important thing. Ivory, silk, spices, then Peter salt, a type of thing that they used to trade in. Gems and jewelry, lots of trading in gems and jewelry used to take place. So this was definitely there. And later on, so for the first time, the East India Company was formed. So from now to 1756 till the first Battle of Plassey, they were actually traders, nothing more than that. Then they will start to be India's rulers. Okay, we will keep it till here. Any other question? Anything that you would like to say? Okay, first it was Queen Elizabeth I. Then Victoria comes. Victoria was India's empress. She was declared, Queen Victoria was declared India's empress.
Yes, during the Battle of Plassey.
Then when she was declared India's empress mainly after the revolt of 1857. Till then, the company, East India Company, was mainly pulling the control. Then the company's rule was ended and India directly went under the rule of the Queen. So the Queen will take over After that,
So India was ruled by a British queen, and like Britain was ruled by another queen.
Britain was ruled by another which queen?
No, Queen
India was
Victoria.
a colony of British.
India was a colony of the British, but now the scenario is building up. Now see, you are moving towards modern history. So Akbar's time, the Europeans are coming to India to trade. So many types of trading, many types of things are being brought to them. They are in awe of India's wealth and treasury and everything. India's treasury is flourishing. Akbar's treasury is, the Mughal treasury is flourishing with different kinds of golds and materials, and there is no lack of anything. Okay.
So, ma'am, I have a question. So ma'am, corresponding to this, can we say that if the Mughals did not rule in India, the Britishers would not have come?
That is difficult to say because they have discovered the sea route. Okay, they have discovered the sea route and they have come. Whoever would have been in control, how can we say that they wouldn't have been defeated?
Probably British would have controlled India faster.
Maybe because till Aurangzeb's time, you see the decline slowly. Because
But ma'am, maybe if ma'am Bairam Khan won and when they were Hindu kings, then ma'am they could have united and fought. It can happen. Anything can happen.
They couldn't stop them. And later on, the later Mughals, by the time it will be time for Aurangzeb's successors, then you will see how the Britishers started manipulating and taking over. Now it was not only the British, even Portuguese.
Divide and conquer.
During Jahangir's time, the Portuguese was in control of India. Portuguese were there. There were French who were coming in. The Britishers were one of the European groups.
Dutch was also
There was
there.
Dutch also, Dutch.
Dutch was there, absolutely.
Everyone wanted India.
From Netherlands also.
Because of their fertile land
We
only.
come to Jahangir after this, after Akbar. Jahangir, when you do, Jahangir had done one thing. Jahangir had, during that time, the Portuguese was gaining control. So Jahangir had given them free trading rights that you don't have to pay tax, do trading. And these people were misusing the ports. They were earning profit and slowly, the power change will take place. Now, from after till Akbar and till Aurangzeb, the Mughals were in control. They were fully still the masters. But then the Mughals will not be anymore the masters, and the Europeans will start manipulating everything.
And before also Europeans came, Marathas actually came.
Marathas were there. Marathas were during the time of Mughals only. Mughals were in the north. Marathas were in Maharashtra. The ruler, the main Maratha ruler, Shivaji was contemporary with Aurangzeb. Just like Akbar and Maharana Pratap, Shivaji and Aurangzeb, they were again bitter enemies. We'll do about him.
But this time Shivaji.
How many rulers does
He
India
conquered
have?
27 forts.
Can you believe? Dynasties have rose and fallen.
In Europe, in each country there was only one ruler, and in India only one country has.
Dynasties after dynasties, means one has gained power, gone down, again gained power, again gone down. So it's a lot to look forward to. Okay, we'll keep it till here. Please learn the Todalmar Bandobast well. Okay. Now I'll stop recording.